Welcome back to the Green Means Go channel. It's your host, me. As always, I want to thank you guys for coming by for another Tuesday of home run picks. We've had a great year, and let's hope that we can wrap up this year with some positive numbers. Now, I do want to give a quick personal note that this is the first August in the last 23 years that I have not had a first day of school. That is right. After college, I started teaching high school English, and I taught for 6 years. I ended up resigning for reasons that would take way too long to explain, but ultimately my goal now is to pursue YouTube and content creation. So right now we're sitting at 275 subscribers. If we can get 300 today from this video, that would help me a ton. So if you guys like the content, or if you just want to help out and do your civic duty to support another guy talking about sports, hit that subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. So thank you guys so much, and let's get into the video. So last week we were battling the trade deadline. Things got wild. Guys got shipped off. It was just a bit chaotic. I had to tweet 6, 7, 8, 9 times. I hate just blowing up Twitter, X, whatever like that, but we had to do it. Ultimately, we cashed Diaz, Tauchman, Bellinger, and Verdugo for the picks, which puts us just, depending on the number you got them at, just slightly positive or around break even after free bets, which is fine, which is ultimately, worst case goal. So we like to see that. Let's look at the overall tracking for this year. I'll point you down here at this number. Our A team has spent $4,700, so has our B team. We have cashed in $4,600 just on home runs, $4,900 just on home runs for the B team. So ultimately, our B team is positive right now before any free bets, and our A team has only lost about $150, but we've earned over 2,000 free bets on the channel with the picks. So if you do convert your free bets on FanDuel at 75%, which I would always suggest doing, you should be up $1,500 or $1,800 if you followed every pick for these videos for an ROI of about 40%. So, that's good. Okay, I will take that every day of the week. Now, of course, I have the limited version, so I am up about $600, which again is just fine with me. So again, take a look at your terms and conditions. Make sure you're making the right choices given which promo version you have. I do want to make a quick note that I'm a bit perturbed with FanDuel right now. It's Tuesday. This promotion should be at the top of the list calling everyone's name, but instead we got Rob Gronkowski talking about cornhole and these other filler promos. You have to scroll down to Dinger Tuesday to opt in. I almost forgot to opt in today just because it's so buried, so make sure you opt in. Enough talking, let's start picking. First of all, I want to say this should be a phenomenal slate. Ballpark Pal is projecting 45 home runs tonight, which is amazing. Weather is perfect across all parks. It's going to be a good night, I hope. So we will start here with a game that begins at 4 o'clock. This game got rained out yesterday, and so they're playing a doubleheader today. It is important to note that I am picking only from the first game. The second game will not have lineups posted until after the first game is over, which is way too late for this video, so we're not even going to worry about it. This is for the 4 o'clock game where we have Trevor Williams and Zach Wheeler facing off, and honestly, I think the only possible way that you can attack this is by targeting Trevor Williams and avoiding Zach Wheeler, who's only given up 12 home runs this year. So Bryson Stott hit a home run Sunday, I believe. Bryce Harper hit one Saturday or Monday. So two guys that have hot bats on a team that should hit a lot of home runs with great conditions. Those would be my picks for the early afternoon game. This game in Detroit is one of the least favorites of mine on the slate tonight. That's because Sonny Gray, 124 innings, only 5 home runs. Rodriguez is still in the single digits home runs given up. So why not reach for some value here if you have to play it? Go with Kyle Farmar and Jordan Luplow, two Minnesota guys. Moving down to the game in Cincinnati, another one with amazing conditions. I'm going to not pick a favorite team tonight and just go one batter from each team. Jesus Sanchez at 470, I think, is a steal given his power and given the amount of home runs he has this year. And I think this is a bit of a reach maybe. Tyler Stevenson at 630. Matt McLean's a good pick. Nick Senzel's a good pick. Spencer Steer's a good pick. But something told me that it's Stevenson's night, so I'm going to lock in Stevenson tonight at 630. Even with the limited version, this is a game that I will get to. The only other D-rated game tonight is the game in Tampa Bay, and that is purely because of pitching. Dome Stadium should be fine conditions for home runs. I'm gonna target McCollus here. They're both about the same in their home runs given up, but I just think Tampa Bay's bats are a little better right now than the Cardinals. So Brandon Lowe and Josh Lowe, both Rays, not related at all. Who knew, right? same last name, no blood crossing over in their veins. So 4:30 and 6:30 would be my picks, not a game I'm playing. This game in Baltimore is a little interesting because Framber Valdez is coming off of a no hitter. He pitched one a week ago, and I am actually going to pivot here. A lot of people I think would target Grayson Rodriguez, but I'm actually going to target Framber Valdez, who is coming off of a 9 inning game. I'm expecting a little fatigue. I'm expecting just a guy who, how do you get better than a no hitter? A perfect game, right? So we're going to target two guys for Baltimore. Jordan Westberg has not played a ton of time for the Orioles, and that's because the Orioles are kind of loaded this year with batters. So he should get the nod tonight, and I think at 750, a guy who's got something to prove is a good line. Also going with Ryan Mountcastle, who should be at the top of the order, near the top at 520. The game in Pittsburgh, I have to play just out of obligations, right? Atlanta, Pittsburgh, we got AP. I used to teach AP, so in honor of not having a first day, I'm going to play the AP game of the night. And we are going to go with a little bit of chalk because I used a chalk. Okay, I'm done. Jack Swinski at 340 and Brian Reynolds at 520, I think are great picks going up against Chirinos here for Atlanta, who's not been fantastic, giving up 10 and only 71 innings. This game in Cleveland should be another one with plenty of home runs, and I think you have to target Cleveland guys here. Ramon Laureano was with the A's. He got released, and Cleveland picked him right up. So I think at 8-1, a little revenge action here. You know, a guy who's kind of struggled this year, but he's got a new jersey, a new stadium, new teammates. Why not show him how it's done? Laureano at 8-1 and Jose Ramirez at 4.5-1 would be my picks, and it may be a game I end up playing on the limited version. The game in Boston looks okay. I've rated it a C. I think you could get about 3 home runs in this game. Probably not a game I get to, but MJ Melendez and Jarren Duran would be my picks. Flipping over here to the later half of the night, we have the Cubs visiting New York, and I am going to mix it up again and go one from each team. So Brandon Nimmo should be leading off for the Mets. I think is a good spot at 470. And Mike Tauchman, we've hit him twice on this channel, and they're still giving me 6-1. So it would be disrespectful, dishonorable to not go with him again. So we are going to lock in Tauchman at 6-1 for the Cubs. Game in Chicago tonight, I realize Tui Toussaint's numbers are red, but he has a really small sample size, and I think that New York could have their way tonight, and specifically Jake Bauers. He's been incredibly hot this week, and at 360, you know, it's a little lower than I like playing, but it's one I'm comfortable playing because of the guy, and Yasmani Grandal at 560 is worth a shot for me for the White Sox. The game in Milwaukee is definitely one I will be getting to tonight, targeting guys facing Kyle Freeland. We're going to go with Joey Wimmer and Wilson Contreras. Again, 340 is not a number I love playing, but I was tempted to take Brian Anderson. He's not listed on FanDuel right now. He's been battling an injury, so if he ends up starting and his number is, say, above 500, I would make a pivot, but right now, for the sake of the channel, I'm going to lock these two in. The game in LA is interesting because Scott Alexander is usually a reliever. I don't see him going more than 3 innings, probably just 2. He's only given up 1 home run. Again, that's a little inflated. But Giolito has given up 25 home runs, so I am definitely going with 2 San Francisco guys. Michael Conforto and Lamonte Wade Jr. would be my picks. I do like Jock Peterson, but do I like his number? It was at 320 this morning. No. If you like to be a little more conservative with your picks, I'm fine with a Jock Peterson, but these are the 2 that I will be playing tonight. Looking at the game in Oakland, we have 2 pitchers with pretty big names. Max Scherzer comes over from the Mets last Tuesday, actually, and J.P. Sears both have given up almost a combined 50 home runs. So while Ballpark Pal doesn't love the conditions tonight, I still am going to rate it a B just because, you know, these pitchers have given up hard hit balls all year long. And what I'm going to do tonight is maybe a little contrarian, but I think when you have a guy like Max Scherzer pitching, it inflates the numbers for the other team just because, people see Max Scherzer and they think he's not going to allow any home runs. He's an ace. But we see here he's allowed quite a few home runs this year. So I think JJ Bleday at 680 and Seth Brown at almost 5-1 is great value. So these are two that I'm playing tonight. I don't mind a Marcus Semien on Texas, but these are the two that I am going to officially play. The last A-rated game on the slate, and quite possibly my favorite of the night, is the game in Arizona, and I'm going to target, you guessed it, guys against Brandon Pfaadt. Look at this. First green number we've had for pitchers in a long time, giving up almost 1.6 home runs every 5 innings pitched. Max Muncy's a little chalky. He's been cold lately, but I think, if there's a night that he gets it together, it's tonight. Outman right now is my official play. Peralta and Hayward should be in the lineup, neither of which are listed on FanDuel. So what we'll say is if Peralta or Hayward come in above 6-1, they are going to be my play. I will tweet that out on my Twitter. Okay, over here. What? Come on. It's reverse, so I can't there we go. Okay, I'll tweet that out on my Twitter if I'm making a pivot. But otherwise, just keep your eye out for that. It's a late game. We have plenty of time. Finally, the game in Seattle, two decent pitching options. I don't love a ton of hitters for Seattle, but I will go Cal Raleigh here at this spot. And Juan Soto just seems like a guy who's going to face Logan Gilbert and grab his crotch and shimmy his shoulders. So why not go Juan Soto at 4-1? So that does it for this Tuesday. Again, I expect a lot of home runs tonight, which I know I've said before, and sometimes it bites us, but we're going to ride with the optimism. Here are all the picks. Good luck tonight. Again, remember to opt in, and best of luck. We will catch you next Tuesday on the channel.